Very good morning from the sports desk. South African track athletes are hitting the right form at the right time. That's with the World Athletics Championships coming next month. A week ago, Akani Simbine won the men's 100-meter race at the Golden Spike World Athletics Continental Tour meet that was in Ostrava, the Czech Republic. Simbine was the only man to go sub-10, clocking 9.98 seconds. Meanwhile, just last month, Shaun Maswanganyi made history by registering the second fastest 100-meter time in South African history. The Olympian finishing third in the men's 100 meters at the NCAA's Division I final that took place in Austin, Texas. He clocked a time of 9.91 seconds. Well, the speedster is joining me now in studio. Very good morning to you, Shaun. Thank you so much for coming through, my brother.
Good morning.
What does it take to run 9.91?
First and foremost, it takes a lot of hard work and determination, a lot of consistency, a lot of diligence, a lot of diligence, and like being a student of the sport. Yeah. I've had to be the student of the sport. It's not just getting on the track and just running 100 meters. You know, there's a lot of thought process that goes in, even just before a race. I'm thinking of 10, 15 things at a time that I need to try execute, you know, within a 10-second space. So, you know, it's all about practicing what you preach. So I know how I practice, how I'll perform.
You clocked the second fastest time in South African athletics history, and yet you didn't win that race. You came third.
Yeah.
Explain to me how that even works. You had guys that were running faster than you, and how?
I mean, the NCAA is like one of the most competitive leagues in the world for track and field. It's literally just another Olympics or World Championship, especially with the quality and the level of talent in such a stage. So, you know, just standing on that line, I knew I was going to have to run something really fast in order to win. And, you know, I knew I was going to have to run 9.8. And unfortunately, I didn't execute my race to the best of my ability. And I knew I came off short. But, you know, it's given me a confidence booster because that was the first time, well, that was the first meet I broke sub-10 and sub-20 legally, especially at that type of stage. So it was a confidence booster.
What does 9.8 give you? Because everybody is chasing a 9.8. The Olympic champion, you know, is sitting at a 9.8 having won in Tokyo. What does 9.8 give you realistically in a World Champs and in Olympics?
At this stage, I know that definitely if you want to compete for a medal or a podium finish, you need 9.8 low. So around 9.80, 9.84 is where you really want to be if you want to have a shot at winning a medal. So right now as I stand, I'm like, okay, you know what? We have milestones to reach. Me and Coach Carl, we talk every day and say, okay, you know, we want to prepare every year as a setup. We use every year as a setup. We know that, okay, 991 is great, but we know that in order to really medal or have a chance at winning, you need 980, 979. So obviously we're using this as a build-up, as a stepping stone. So the NCAA meet in general was very competitive, and that's what I loved about it because it brought out the best in me.
You got the World Champs next month. How are the preparations going? And you're going back home, in fact, well, your other home, your adopted home, on Wednesday. And I would imagine you're just going to now get right into a tunnel vision.
Oh, definitely. I mean, even just coming here back to South Africa, I've been working out every day, trying to stay consistent. Coach Carl and I keep very good communication. Sends me all my workouts, and then I try to send him some film. Just to make sure that I don't go back to a little bit of old habits. My cousin's coach actually helps me out, making sure that she's my eyes, basically. So, you know, the work never stops.
Listen, before I let you go, I know it's, you know, when you're having fun with such interviews, time really does fly. We were left quite disappointed after what happened in Tokyo, you know, where at least athletics is concerned. Obviously, Kasta couldn't compete in the race. We know she can get a gold. Wade was not good enough to compete in the 400, where we know he'll get a medal as well. But all of you guys are seemingly starting to come through right at the right time with the World Champs, and hopefully you push it up into the Olympics. Can you, right now, in front of our ENCA viewers and even the rest of the country, promise that at the very least, with what you and Akani are doing and potentially the rest of the guys in the 4x100, can you guys at least knock on the door of a medal? Can we come back with a sprint medal from either the World Champs or the Olympics or both?
Oh, definitely, definitely, especially the 4x1. I just feel like in this instance, we just really need to put in together a set time where we say, okay, we're going to really work on the relay. And because that's all the other great nations, that's what they do. You know, they tell each other, okay, we have camps a year or 2 years in advance and saying, okay, we're going to have certain training camps. And I feel like with the right preparation, we have the talent, we have the depth for that. And at the end of the day, it's all about executing on the day. But the proper preparation leads to that perfect execution on the day.
What time are you chasing at the World Champs?
Whew, I want to shock myself, so I'm not even going to put it out there. But I want to get a podium finish. So that will be the best world championship for me right now.
Personally, and I think even I speak for South Africans, we don't care what the time is as long as that time results in you standing on that podium, be it bronze, silver, or medal. My brother, thank you so much. All the best with your training. All the best with the World Championships. I know you're probably going to come back home next year, hopefully before the Olympics. But when you do, we'll be right here chatting to you again, urging you on to go and do amazing things. So thank you so much for coming through to our studios, man.
Thank you for having me.
Patuchezo Shaun Maswanganyi, of course, he is a South African sprinter and he's the second fastest man in South African athletics history. And he's just joining us, of course. He's heading over to the United States to go prepare for the World Championships happening in Budapest, Oregon. In fact, they're going to be happening a little later on this year. That is next month. That's where we leave it from the sports desk.